Wow, wonderful people. Today we have our brother on. Brother Morris is on, and you can all see Brother Morris right now. That is Brother Morris just beside me, as you can see him well dressed, looking all ready and smashing it there. This is a very amazing man of God that we have here, and a community servant, a person that loves his people and loves everyone in the world as well. A very ready man always to advocate for the weak and to support anybody that needs any kind of support that he can get. Today's program is really open to all people. Anyone that, if you've been invited and you've been sent the link to join us via Zoom, please, you can do so at any point in time. It's never late. Always join in and we can take it from here. But today, the main thing we'll be talking about is some of the information that we've gathered today from a conference that we attended. And I will leave Brother Morris to introduce the conference that we attended, and we'll be presenting some of the outcomes of the event that took place today. So without much ado, I will let Brother Morris just introduce himself and tell us just a little bit for now about what happened, the event that happened today in the Western Sydney campus in Parramatta in Sydney, Australia. Yeah, Brother Morris, you are welcome to introduce yourself to the viewers and then share a bit of the reason for the gathering that took place today.
Oh, thank you so much, our moderator. Thank you so much for giving us a chance and sponsor this time that is costly. Thank you very much for contributing towards this noble cause. Yes, today I'm excited once again. I'm excited. I'm happy to inform the public, to inform the listeners. In a most humble way, I welcome you into this program, which is more to share about, create awareness actually, about the problems, the causes, the root causes, the effects, and probably the responses towards domestic violence that has been initiated into our hands today, giving us a role to play or to use our skills as African people, as people of different ethnic backgrounds, not only Africans, but Asians, even people who are here, but with the other backgrounds. I will talk about that later. The importance of this is to thoroughly integrate our understanding using our common communication tools, our local way of understanding things to effectively reintegrate our people and avoid the more incidents of crisis in the community, and they also make people understand their choices in life. People could make choices, but informed decisions is very important for you to know the consequences of abusing somebody. Abuse is not only one gender way, abuses of both female and male genders. So today specifically we have advocated a lot. We have also informed the government that it is a two-way traffic, getting us on board, feeding us with the policy issues, the issues you want us to implement, or the change you want us to see as government implementing the community. But we are also telling the government, no, this is another voice from the community members, the community leaders, like the ambassadors, the new ambassadors. I congratulate my fellow ambassadors that have been also identified in the community and they actually given the mandate, given the role to play in the community, that we are now taking a two-way traffic, information gathered from the community and the information given to the community from the government. I'm very grateful to be part of this.
That's right. Thank you so much, viewers. So this is briefly what happened, and I will play a video of one of the presenters that presented that had their presentations done at the event, so that we would know her purpose for being there for the program today. So we will just listen to her briefly, but before we do that, we will encourage that everyone would try your best and share the video that we are playing. Today's program, everyone needs to know about it, so we encourage that if you can share it, with your friends and loved ones, especially those living in and around other developed countries, because what pertains in Australia will be almost the same thing in America, London, and everywhere else in the world, because the impact of domestic violence, the impact of divorces, it affects everyone around the world. And today, as we speak, if you check the website of Mission Australia, it stated that 1 in 6 women have experienced physical or sexual violence by a current or former partner, whilst for men it is 1 in 16. 1 in 16. This is what the statistics say as of now. We don't know whether maybe tomorrow the statistics will change, but then we will be finding out why. There is a tendency that it's not just 1 in 16 men that are, affected by domestic violence. There could be more, but are the men reporting, or the men are keeping the information to themselves, being strong men, trying to be strong, or they're actually not going through it? Is this the true reflection of what is happening to the men out there, or this is not the actual reflection? So without much ado, let us listen to the purpose for this woman's presentation according to what she said to Koda TV today. All right, so we'll just listen to her. Okay, so good day today, ma'am. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm going great.
Oh, beautiful. So may I know your name and where you work and the purpose for today's gathering?
Yeah, so my name is Ivy Sang and I work at No to Violence. I was just speaking about working with men who use violence, especially around our men's referral service, which is a phone counselling line that men who are concerned about their behaviour can call, and also just about men's behaviour change programs in New South Wales.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so what has been the most some of the most prevalent issues that you handle?
So in terms of the prevalent issues that we handle, it's around just men's use of violence and really supporting them on that journey of behavioural change in such a way that keeps the safety of women and children as the core focus. And what that can include is men giving the MRS a call and having initial counselling and maybe being referred into a local men's behaviour change program. Just we're supporting the men's behaviour change sector across Australia.
Yeah, so then the full name of your office is MRS?
The full name of the service that No to Violence offer is the Men's Referral Service, or MRS.
Okay.
And we also support the men's behaviour change sector all across Australia.
Oh, beautiful. So today, what was your main task that you performed here?
Yeah, so with today, I just gave a brief presentation about what No to Violence do, the Men's Referral Service, the Brief Intervention Service, which is a series of that men can get referred into and get counselling sessions as short-term support, and then also just a brief overview of men's behaviour change programs.
Oh, beautiful. I hope definitely your main purpose is to make sure every home in Australia where there's a man and a woman and kids are safe.
Yes, that's the main goal. Our vision is working with everyone to end the use of male family violence.
Oh, thank you so much. And what was your name once again?
Ivy Sang.
All right, Ivy. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, viewers. Today I've been here with Ivy.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank
you so much, Ivy.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
See you next time. Bye. All right. So, viewers, that was Ivy, one of the presenters that did a wonderful presentation up at the event that took place today. And you should have been there. I believe everyone can't be there at the same time, but if you were there, you would notice that there was a lot of information that got passed on at this program that almost everyone needs to know. If you heard what some of the things she said, they are trying to work on men's behavior changes. So it means that there are certain behaviors that men may be carrying that need to be modified, or there are certain behaviors that some women need to be may be carrying that needs to be modified, or it may also happen that men are very innocent of most of the crimes, but they are just not speaking up. So it takes a lot. It went to the two ends, two polarities, and this is why we have Brother Maurice here as one of the ambassadors for this project. So yes, as he has introduced himself already, we will let Brother Maurice talk to us about the prevalence of domestic violence. What is the state of domestic violence in Australia based on his background and the type of job he does for this sort of thing. So yeah, Brother Maurice, you can tell us more about some of the things you gathered today at the event.
Oh yes, yes, we had the whole day discussing issues and presenting from different experience from different people or of different countries, and our experience is always the same. We share the same experience with the clients. We talk to clients. Some of them are reserved, others are not opening up. But I'm going to present basically recommending or following the best practices of the UN. This is where we bring in the do's and the don'ts of the UN practices, but at the same time I will indicate the gaps that requires bridging, that gaps that requires responses, that requires people to be ready. And also I'm going to let people know some of the factors to be considered important. There are some little minor issues you may think they are not all that important, but they are equally important when it comes to domestic violence. It can cause something like a big damage in your family, in your life, and around the community around you. Important to note is that we have been given a chance to bring our voice. Our voices have been added in today, or the project, this pilot project is going to add our voices. What do we say as Africans? What do we say as Asians? What do we say as people with the other ethnic backgrounds? What do we have to contribute? What is our take on this? What is that added value? What is the change we want to see? So these are the areas I'm going to clarify on. I will start with the background. The background of our people is that we are not informed. Someone stated that if you want to hide information from African people, put it in writing. And I do concur with that, because sometimes, yes, for us African people, we may use different tools of communication to understand or to analyze issues. Sometimes we take along with this country. People living abroad would agree with me that time is money. You may get little time to go through the literature, the brochures given to us, the information saturated around our communities. It may not be put into use, and however much donors are putting a lot of resources to impact us. So here we came out with a common scenario that many people do not get this information right. We don't sometimes access it. Sometimes it's around your table, but you don't have time to read. You're tired, you're exhausted. So we are trying to forge out the way, the means of reaching out to the wider community by going through videos, by using the social media, by using the .com strategies. The youth these days, they use .com. We need to change. So my appeal to the seniors, the elders in the community, that time has come now to dance according to whoever tunes the song. So the generation tells us to go .com way. And I request you to adjust your mindset, your understanding, and they will allow this to happen, because most of the causes of domestic violence are embedded, are hidden. They are not all that directed to us. But when we go, the way people are designing this project is that how can you locally make your people understand? How can you, let me quote one country, as a Kenyan, use Swahili to explain your people the causes of domestic violence in your area? How do you specifically pick men's vulnerability towards this? And how much are men affected by domestic violence? Why are they the most suspected, individuals, or in many case studies, we find them as prime committers or prime causes of this. When we go to court, what does the justice say? How are we treated? The case managers, how are they identifying men in any investigations, in any allegation? And men, how ready are we to defend ourselves or to say sorry when it happened that I'm convicted? Even if when we are convicted, how do we respond to this? And the end result of this is affecting the families, is affecting the children, is affecting the wives, or your wife is affecting everybody. Even if it is genuine domestic violence issue in the family, how do we bring families stay together, uniting than separating them? It is costly. It is very much, it affects this generation, but it will very much affect the future generation if we don't react today. And how do we react? If we are to mention, we have come up with a pilot project that government needs to know and get the information now from us people who are living with the people, who are working with the people, who are receiving clients, who are listening to voices of those who are crying. There are people mourning, there are people crying, there are people regretting. Had I known this information, I wouldn't have fought. I wouldn't have committed this so and so. So for us people on the ground, we are telling government, no, thank you for the resources, thank you for the programs, but I think this one can work better. So this is what we are trying to identify. We are identifying what can work better, and we are also showing them the failed practices.
Okay. So from your experience so far, what are some of the most prevalent reasons that you gather to be some of the main causes of domestic violence? From your experience, what are some of the main reasons why men will be violent on women or women will be violent on men? What are some of the main reasons that you know from your experience?
Okay, I will try and basing on general
Let's say causes.
Yeah. These are like a mixed identity. People are living in other countries, coming here, and they come with their values, cultural values, religious values, and when they come here, they find other values of Australia, and they may not be equally compatible into the reintegration system. They may not fit in someone's understanding. They need time. They need to be explained clearly. They need to be. There is a lack of awareness of these issues. At times, yes, there is awareness to some levels, but even the language used, the packaging given, the target group we meet may not be the appropriate one. What do we say at this point? We are saying, can you give us a chance of introducing the models that can effectively impact our people positively, than just evaluating projects and continue this year, this project, another year, another project, but with no positive impact. So okay. Our evaluation is telling us.
Are you talking about, let's say, confused cultures? Because people they belong to one culture, but once they settle in Australia, then they get overwhelmed or overexcited about the cultures in Australia, and so they, out of that confused state, they try to switch from culture to this culture and to take advantage over the system. Is that what you're saying are one of the causes of the domestic violence?
That could be one of the factors, but there are quite many. Let me just outline a few. Yeah. One is that we are molded in Africa, in other countries. Some men are molded to be kings in the house, dominate, making decisions on behalf of the family. When you come here, you will find equal opportunity. You will find a woman is supposed to contribute toward the decision making. So that alone keeps a man a bit less powerful, as he may demand to be dominating in the family. Another factor is the mixed identity. Some people, they think they are Australians, daytime. And when it comes to night or evening or whatever time when they stay home, they are forced to work, to do the work at home. Do the dishes, do this. They tell you, no, I'm an Australian. But sometimes they find themselves Africans. The culture tells them to clean the house. The culture tells them to do the dishes. So people are living a mixed mind kind of life. What I would think is that we need now to integrate these systems that are guiding us, showing them the do's and the don'ts, inducting them into a new life. We call this a new normal. The new normal is not easy. It's like leaving one village and go to another village. You find another village a bit hard for you to live. So you need to understand the characteristics of people, the personalities on that village, the systems being used. If you don't have somebody explaining them to you clearly, you either damage the law or the law will damage you.
Okay, so it means that people, if I get you right, then it's possible that many people, men or both sexes, genders, are maybe struggling with integration. So it goes to say that they don't really understand the culture of the developed country where they happen to find themselves, and they still want to live in the developed country with the laws of their country where they come from. So there is a bit of cultural misunderstanding here. The system does not understand why an African or maybe an Asian does what he does in his house in Australia or in America. So when he gets into contact with the law, then it looks like he is not law abiding. Then he gets penalized for what he thinks he's doing correctly in his opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
That is exactly.
So these are two examples you've given. Are there any you want to pick on before we go ahead?
I want to pick on what we call positive aggressiveness. In African understanding or setting, a man is always aggressive than a woman. A man is always like, if there is any stranger, they call it a man in the house. You go out, there's a stranger. So we expect him to be more stronger in the mind, more stronger in physically, and in whatever way we do, a man is a last result. In case a child is misbehaving, is becoming naughty, you report whatever, but when you say, I report you to dad, she will humble herself or himself. This means a man remains dominating in whatever situation. However, in Australia, things are different. In America, things can be different. In UK, in other countries, things can still be different. So how do we bring this so-called man or woman to this understanding that things are different? I'll give an example of myself. I'm a married man, and I have my wife here. But things were not easy for me to learn how to jointly work together with my wife to move the family together. I used to carry the luggage on my own. I used to manage the finances on my own. I used to decide, to make a decision. But here you are, you need to consult her. You need to beg her, can I sell this car and we buy another one? Because you give reasons to her. She may not say no, but that respect, this value of respect is very important in the family. If you are to make a decision, be it a long-term decision, be it a short-term decision, families, it's high time now we come together and prevent some possible incidents.
Wow. So you're talking about respect for each other in the home.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who earned the money, it doesn't matter who did what, but there should be that level of respect in the home. And
not only wife, even children. Time has come where even children have to be on the table when you are making decisions for your family. Because children are also many stakeholders in the family. When you get married, even before getting married, you have the seniors around, the elders will mold the girl you want to marry. You need a good one. You need a God-fearing girl. She's not going to jump from heaven and down, come here. No, you need a community around you. And ours is communal. Our setting is communal. Everybody is a relative to you. My uncle, your neighbor is not a biological uncle. You just say, uncle, good morning. Sister, good morning. At work, they call me brother. All the people around you, they are part of you. Your family is extended to others. That is the level we have what we call Ubuntu. We understand that Ubuntu is promoting the sense of belonging. We belong to Australia now. Your neighbor is your cousin. Your neighbor is is part of your family. What we are seeing is opposite. So we are trying to tell government, look, what about practicing the way we do it back at home? We mediate people. We don't separate families. Here, when you go to any service provider, the first idea they will give you. How do we separate you from this guy? How do we separate you from this woman? So we are saying, that can work, but there's another alternative of resolving, of reconciling these two people. And I've seen it working. Even if we go the other way of like committing or convicting people, yes, they will end up serving the community service together, the punishment together. What does that show you? That these people are sticking together. And even whoever may have reported the case of domestic violence, she will end up blaming other stakeholders like a police. They took my man. They arrested him for 1 year. I cannot now take care of my child. So what do we see? We are seeing resources wasted. We are seeing family breakdown. We are seeing unguided family, structures. We are seeing children coming with no sense of direction. Why do we wait?
Okay, so as the ambassador, as an ambassador for domestic violence in Australia, newly appointed, would you think there are enough resources or avenues to resolve family or domestic violence issues to favor both men and women, or you think there is not enough, or you think there is something but it's one-sided? What would you think? Are there enough resources or avenues to fix the problem, the families, by the system of Australia? That is many questions. I will add the second part of it. The second part after this one will be: do you think the system targets breaking every marriage or relationship that has a challenge, or they want to fix the problem and get the couples to live together? So in the first place, just answer the first one. Do you think there are enough resources or avenues to resolve domestic violence issues to favor both parties?
I will say yes and no. I will start with yes. The yes is that, yes, we've seen resources being put in different projects, programs, but our concern, we shall apply what we call an appreciative inquiry. That yes, we appreciate the success, we appreciate the struggle, we appreciate the resources in place, but we miss a point somewhere. So how can we complement? How can we bring our skills? How can we use our experience? How do we consult the seniors in the community? How do we utilize the church potential? How do you utilize the people who have gone through this, their experience? There is another testimony to prevent others from falling into the same category. So how do we advise the judiciary? How do we advise people under with the police officers, the enforcement, that before you lash with this case, we need to resolve as community members. Maybe we can fix it and do not waste resources from the government. Another answer, which is no, that the resources may not be enough, because the resources are like limited to some organization known already. But how do we come together using the existing structure, but to introduce new ideas to them? Because some of the programs, some of the projects have been running for years. Same project this year, the other year, different maybe donors, but same projects. How do we bring new ideas together for the change we want to see? So these new ideas will involve a budget, slightly maybe bigger than that has been existing in the last financial year. But yes, it's worth it, because we are going to bring ideas, new communication tools, incentives. Like men have been found vulnerable in one way or another. No advocacy for them. I've heard from one presenter today that after 10 years, she has met men advocating for their fellow men. So what does that mean to you? So that their men were partly forgotten. And if they are forgotten, where is the hidden reality? People who are now advocating for these vulnerable groups, they are coming up with new strategies, not to condemn, but to appreciate what is in existence, and finally advise government. As ambassadors, we are here to advise government that maybe this can work better. I'm happy I've seen government officials present. They have been inducting us. But most of the issues we're appreciating new ideas. They've been looking for us. They're saying, where have you been all these years, you people? We are looking for people who can present issues the way you think can benefit and impact positively when you go back to your communities. And it's the same to our communities. Our communities, they are just ignorant about some of the possible causes. But when you tell them African people are humble people, African people are people of respect, African people are intelligent. So here we are saying, if we have all these potentials around, how can we tap? How can we complement the government programs? And we have a crime-free society.
So, in saying that, what are some of the agencies or avenues where you think they are trying to resolve most of these domestic violence issues, considering both the men and women? Because from the standpoint of most of maybe my listeners, that I'm asking some of these questions for my listeners, from the standpoint of some of the people that we know around in society, it looks like it is always the man is guilty, even though he may not be. I remember at the conference today, one of the presenters was like, I think one of the participants gave an example of him being an ambassador, went in to resolve a domestic violence issue, but then she was made to understand that the man was actually assaulting the woman, but the case turns out to be like the woman was rather assaulting the man.
Yeah.
But in most cases, the police service will appear and they just grab the man, kick him out of the house. Sometimes they end up in terrible situations before the truth comes out for them to be freed. Why do you think the system favors both parties, or is more leaning towards one side?
My dear brother, it's important for you to know, and the listeners to know, that we are talking and rotating around the law. Yeah. The law of Australia, through the Domestic Violence Act 2007, Section 5, is clearly giving the mandate to police to suspect you as a man. So we don't blame police for that. I will quote a doctor.
Come again? You said the law gives the police the right to suspect the man.
Suspect the man.
Even before they speak.
Before you give your defense. That is one. Two, there's one doctor I was working with the prisons in Africa, and the same law, not Australian law, now I'm talking about another country's law, gives a doctor the mandate to conclude that let me give an example of a defilement case. It's aggressive. It's one of the high nature of crimes in Africa. But defilement, if they say someone was defiled in your house and you're the grandfather, the doctor has the right to suspect a tool of the grandfather than any other person. So you don't need to someone related. You don't need to give an excuse. You are a potential prisoner there and there. What do I say? That men are more vulnerable when it comes to crime committing.
Wow. So it means then what I'm saying is what the reality is. Men get condemned even before they are accused of committing a crime. So in that case, is the system balanced or it's tilted to one side? Obviously, it's definitely tilted to one side, because I think in the presentation it came up like even there are certain database for people that can shout for help, but that database belongs to only women.
Yes.
And there's nothing for men. But then in the same program, it was also told that they have evidence of a lot of men that have been abused. Yet there are no platforms created for men to also be heard out. Somebody even said that a man needs to prove himself efficient enough before he can gain custody of his child.
Yes, you have to satisfy
and prove that you are worthy to look after your own child. Meanwhile, there has never been any evidence of crime. So whether you are a criminal or not a criminal, you still need to prove yourself to be someone that can keep a child.
That's it.
even though you've been keeping your child before the breakup or before the problem. Oh no. So it's confirmed that men are not the priority here. It's mostly women and children, which is obviously clear. So looking at all these things, now we've looked at some of the causes of domestic violence, a few of them. And we've come to realize that whether the woman is guilty or not, the man is highly culpable even before investigations come.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, what can men do? What should a man do if he lives with a wife? What should be the strategy that a man should put across to be able to protect his integrity? Because if certain, allegations are leveled against you, definitely, some part of your record might be destroyed, and there are certain jobs you can never get to do again in this country. So, what should a man do?
I would say not only men, even women, we need to be able to humble ourselves to get educated, attend awareness programs, to fight ignorance about the family issues, about the domestic violence, issues. We need to understand our responsibility when it comes to committing any act. People thought fighting somebody physical violence is the only case, but there are some other minor violences, but in the eyes of the law, they are equally important, and they impact negatively your partner. Also understand that even if you fight you and your wife, and you have children, the children are more likely to be protected than both of you. So however much you are in dispute, even if the law separates you, they tell you go to Melbourne, never come here, stay in whatever meters, they are try to understand that you will remain in distance, but the child requires or need your love, both of you. You will be forced to jointly provide love, however much you separate from your partner. So what does that mean? That a family need to be more protected. We make sure that we don't wait to hear such scenarios where Morris is told, go and make a phone call, Zoom phone call with your ex-girlfriend because of a child you need to share love. And you pretend, I love you, and there is no love. We are saying, why do we wait for the law to tell us what to do? Why don't we prevent all these?
So, in your opinion, what are some of the viewers? The floor is opened at this point. If you have any questions for brother, he's one of the ambassadors for domestic violence in Australia. I just want to say, if you have any questions for him, please type it at the bottom of the screen. Type it. We will just read it for him to answer. If you can call into the program, the phone number is always scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can just call the number +61 41280 5277 41280 5277, and then he will be able to answer to the questions that you have to pose to him. These are really concerning issues. If you are lucky you have not faced any domestic violence, divorce, or any frustrations in the family, God bless you. Thank you that you've not been a victim. But if you also have not been a victim, but you have questions around these areas, please feel free to share it, and remember to be polite. That's all. And then you can also share your thoughts on some of the perceptions and the explanations that Brother Maurice has been giving us. If you think you have other opinions and you think, yes, people need to hear that, yeah, please bring it on board and let's take it from there. So, Brother Maurice.
Yes, please.
You said we need to avoid some of these domestic violence issues.
Yes.
Speaking as a man of God, as you are, and living in a society, I know obviously you have a responsibility to the body of Christ and to the community. That's why you are doing what you do. And so, speaking to Christians, how can we avoid these domestic violence issues? I know some of the things people might know, but there might be some strategies you can bring across and you let the body of Christ understand some of these things?
Oh, yes. One, from the Christian point of view, we need to be honest to our partners. From even before getting married, be ready to live a Christian life and a Christian family. So if you are unsure, if you don't have that dream, and you don't even pray for your family to be united, the devil will easily penetrate your family and break it down. That is the first factor. Secondly, when it comes to family life, you need to have understanding, an MOU between you and your partner, be it financial issues, how do we spend our money? Some of our families, a man is working, a woman is not working. In other areas, a woman is working, a man is on Centrelink, a man is not working. So how do we have an MOU that is favoring all of us? If we have a big family, African people, we have big family members. Extended families, my uncle, my dad, my grandfather, my next, they are all relying on you. Yes. But think about your partner. Maybe she has a few. The ratio is 1-4. So what do you have as a common understanding of resolving the possible incidents that can cause disputes in your family? 3, if you are married and you have values of marriage, back at home, people leave their families, they go abroad. On arrival, they say beautiful ones are not yet born. You find him engaging another marriage here. And you go, you have your wife, you left your wife maybe in another country. On arrival here, you say, oh, this is the promised land. I need another wife in the promised land. This new lady you are bringing in your life, she has no clue of what you have been going through, and she's genuinely enter into your life. The moment you start living denial life, promising the African, I work hard, we shall unite again. The other one is also picking interest in you again, continuously. She's praying for you. My husband went for master's degree. I one day go and we reunite again. So this one is also praying, I've got a man. You are contradicting yourself. So in your mind, you have contradictions of culture. You have contradictions of unfaithful. You have contradictions here and there. All these are possible causes of domestic violence because you will never be sincere, honesty with the finances. You have to divide the money and send it in a hidden way. You have to find the means of satisfying the other one that you are still in love with her or him. So life, we cannot go on like that. At one extent, one time we come and the hidden will become revealed. So domestic violence is also affecting families when it comes to women who are not honest. I appreciate those who are honest, but those who are trying to play dirty games, I tell you, Australia is not like any other country. Australia is a country of honest people. When you go to Rome, behave like a Roman. This is what I tell my community members. That when you are here, try to drop any bad character you used to practice before. Australia is a virgin land. We only need to protect it. So if you bring your weed and think you are going to plant it in Australia, not only the police, not only the church leaders, even your neighbors will just identify you as an old man out, because whatever you try to bring here is unacceptable. Australians are welcoming. Australians are sharing. If you have voodoo, juju, you bring your wicked doctor practices into the settings. Australians will just tell you, we don't believe this. We can't understand this. This land is well protected. And when we come here, especially for us who have got Christian values, we are here to protect it even more. So it becomes very beautiful when you find police officers enforcing their laws, and they hear another partner, moreover from the community perspective, from the community, because for us, we live with you people, and say, what do you mean by saying this? I say, I'm fighting recidivism control. I'm promoting recidivism control in the community, reoffending people of the same tribe, same characters, same settings, they commit crimes from time to time. Today I've given a scenario whereby I'm forced to write a book, and its title will be When Prison is Home and Home is Prison. My dear sisters who are listening, sometimes you make us comfortable at home. When you turn a home to be a prison, a man will just quit. That's why you see increased number of single parents, because a man will go on his own and the wife will go, woman will go by herself. So what kind of families are we going to raise? Children are we going to raise? We are supposed to be role models in the community, family role models, and the good role models. Children are yearning to see those models everywhere. Children are waiting Christmas time, where these so-called families coming to celebrate Christmas, and they will see how they do it.
Yeah.
The father is in the disco, the mother is in a pub somewhere. So the children are left hanging. That's why we come out on the as ambassadors. We have a role to play.
Yeah. All right. So viewers, I would like to go through a few of these examples. Maybe somebody may want to know what we mean by domestic violence. I believe to an extent, even though we can all assume that we know what domestic violence is, I would like to share a few of some list. I'll read from a list of certain behaviors that when they happen at home, they are classified as domestic violence.
Indicators.
Yeah. I'll read a list from a particular website. Okay. Maybe I can share that list with viewers. Yep, I will. I will share it. Viewers, maybe you can see it here. Yep, beautiful. So the following, it says the following are examples of emotional abuse. These are all things that we consider to be domestic violence. Okay, so the first one is ignoring a partner's feelings. That is domestic violence.
Yes.
Ridiculing or insulting women as a group. Ridiculing or insulting valued beliefs, religion, race, heritage, or class is violence. It's an abuse. And then we talk about withholding approvals, appreciations, or affections as punishments. For instance, if you think your partner is doing something well and you decide not to tell him, if you withhold that, that is also violence, and it's an abuse. It says continually criticizing, calling names, or shouting at partners, humiliating partners in private or public places. It says refusing to socialize with people who are important to partner. So if your partner doesn't allow you to even go out to visit your friends, and it's under compulsion, if he's forcing you against that, it's also an abuse. Taking car keys, cell phones, or other means of communications away from you is also abuse. Regularly threatening to leave or told to leave. Viewers, okay. Yep, so I think, let me use this camera out here. That will help me to read better. And alright, so regularly threatening to leave or told to leave. Not allowing access to basic needs like toilet, medication, etc. Gaslighting or crazy making. Abandoning someone in dangerous place, threatening to hurt or kill family members, punishing or depriving the children when angry, threatening to kidnap the children, abusing, torturing, or killing pets. Mm-hmm. If you kill your pet, your own chicken, your own dog, your own whatever you call pets, snakes, whatever you call pets, if you kill them, it's also abuse. Harassing partner, abusing, torturing, or killing pets, harassing partner, manipulating partner with lies and contradictions, even if you tell a lie. Yes, it's part of it. Destroying furniture, puncturing holes in walls or breaking appliances. And we also have physical abuse. We have pushing, kicking, pulling, or ripping the hair, strangling, biting, spitting. If you spit on your partner at or near partner, throwing, even if you spit near the partner is an abuse. Throwing objects at or near partner, subjecting someone to reckless driving, just driving anyhow because your partner is in the car, is an abuse. Using household objects as weapons, threatening partner with weapons, non-consensual rough play. Example, martial arts, MMA, says abuse that results in laceration, broken bones, internal injuries, or miscarriage. Abuse that lead to disfigurement of disability, and murder. And we also have sexual abuses. We have birth control sabotage. If you don't allow your partner to do birth control, it's an abuse. Reproduction, coercion, using a sexual derogatory names, forcing a partner to strip, forcing a partner to become a sex worker or prostitute, accusing a partner of promiscuity. Even if you accuse her she's dating, she's cheating, or he's cheating, is an abuse. Forcing a partner to watch pornography, subjecting a partner to unwanted touching. If you touch your wife when it's not wanted, is a problem. Forcing a partner to participate in any form of unwanted sexual activity, biting, pinching, or hurting a partner with objects, sexual assaults. All these are not acceptable. You know what I mean? All these are forms of abuses that we are dealing with. So these are some of the things we are talking about. I just wanted us to to know what this is all about. So these are all abuses that we are dealing with. Some of the abuses these are a tall list. There's a tall list. It can go on and on. From there, we also have financial abuse. All these things come to play. So people, these are what we are talking about. So if these things are happening in your house, in your marriage, the question is, what should you do? If your partner is touching you when you don't want it, what should you do? These are all some of the things, mostly almost all the things, but it covers extensively almost everything. But the question is, when you look at some of the list here, culturally, I believe many people listening to me will be laughing wherever they are. Culturally, some of these things are not supposed to be on the list based on where you are listening to me from. If you are listening to me from anywhere around the world, don't get upset. This relates more to the developed countries, to the first world countries. I'm saying, and I'm talking from Australia. These things apply to Australia, and I believe it will apply to America and all the other, Germany, some of those countries, they will apply. The issue here is, to somebody, it may not be his intention to hurt the wife or to hurt the husband. Today I was discussing something at the conference with one of the dignitaries, and what I said was, they were saying most people don't report their problems. They will rather keep it to themselves. And they want to know why people will rather keep the painful things they are going through to themselves. Brother Emmanuel Love, God bless you as you have joined us. We have Sister Eva Nabakonjo. God bless you so much. We really appreciate your comment. Sister Eva says, we are honored to have Mr. Morris Mukasa as the ambassador for the cowed people in Australia. Thank you for that advocacy to serve the community. Brother, God bless you so much as you are doing this for the community. The community is so much happy and appreciative of you taking up this challenge and pushing the mantle like that. We have Reverend Collins Kwashi listening to us, Sister Marlene Nicole, Sister Diana Boama, we have Sister Obinaze and the rest that I've already mentioned. Pastor Beya is still on. We have Brother Ekemini Uwak, we have Evangelist Justice Sari, and many of the people, if you are watching us on any of the many links, shared links, we really appreciate you. We would love to hear your opinion, your thoughts on some of these concerning issues. So please type up your opinions and send it. You can make it a WhatsApp message to me. I'll read it right now. If it's an audio recording, you just do. Please share it and we will share it with the body of Christ. We are doing these things to educate ourselves. Main reason why we are doing that, we've introduced this family time on this TV channel and every Wednesday, is that we believe that as children of God, sometimes we innocently make certain mistakes out of ignorance. Somebody may have migrated from any other country to Australia, to Germany, America, and would not know that even pushing your wife out of the way to have access to work out is an assault. Yes. Out of ignorance, many of us have suffered from some of these things, and people are still suffering. And it looks like the church is doing nothing. No, the church is trying its best. But to a point, the person is operating based on ignorance. And the church cannot defend offense, even though it may be out of ignorance. It has to admit your errors before it can plead for mercy. Mm-hmm. But we are not living in Africa or some part of the country, of the world, where the chief in your community can talk to the police commander and tell him, police commander, that is my niece, can you release him? And bam, you are out. You may not have that opportunity in certain parts of the world. So it is better we educate ourselves now. So if you live in Africa, Asia, any of the other countries, you are not in the developed countries yet, still you need to listen to some of these programs because it is preparing you for where you want to be. Family, we are only trying to prepare your mindset for where you want to be. And if you're already in Australia, in Germany, America, any of the developed countries where these rules apply, please learn them. Because if you should visit someone that is in such a situation, such a trouble, you will not love their condition. I'm telling you, you will not love their condition. So the best thing, prevention is always better. So let us try to avoid all these frustrations from affecting us. And let us do what we have to do as children of God. And I believe God will bless our lives so much. So, Brother Maurice,
yes,
what are some of the promising opportunities that exist for both men and women that are vulnerable based on the government point of view from the program you attended?
All right. Before I go to that, I want to appreciate the indicators you mentioned, and I just wanted to add at least 2 or 3.
Okay.
Then I come to your question.
Okay.
There are some indicators of people affected with domestic violence, however much you don't tell us. So some of us, we can read your body language and we get to know. So it's important, equally important for our stakeholders, for our whole people in the family to know some of these indicators so that they can easily identify and prevent more harm within the family settings. For example, isolation. If someone is isolating himself, maybe your dad, maybe your mom, she is always uniting dinner, she's coming to the dining table together, and you see that sense of isolation, that sign of isolation for maybe 2 days, she's not eating with the dad anymore. Sense, react. Don't react by calling the police. They will victimize you. You call the police within your parents' whatever freedom. Just try to look for the ambassadors. Try to look for the community worker, case managers. There is also another approach from schools. Schools children now are told. Someone has shared with us today that children are telling us how to live in Australia. The one we have impregnated here, given birth to, the law tells them to tell us what to do. The men are more vulnerable. They say, how can my son tell me how to live here? Yet it's me and his mom who brought his life to earth. So the law is like that. The mandate is given to the child to tell you how to live with him or with her, however younger he is. At school, they're empowered that way. In the community, they're told that way. Social workers are told that way. But for you as a man in the house, you are ignorant about all this. We need to tell you that the law is around you, children are informed, your wife is informed. It's only you, a man in the house, who is still a king, that we need to mold into a shape that you can fit within that family. Otherwise, you are a potential suspect. Another indicator is when someone, for example, if you lose the job and you hide it, try to be transparent. Try to be, not to pretend. Don't pretend in any situation. Live your own life. Live the life which is simple. Some of our people too pride. They want to show off. They want to be always in competing environments. Lower yourself. It costs you nothing. You don't have a car. You don't have a car. You don't have a job. Mention it. Maybe someone else can help. Some people, they go to Centrelink with the glasses. They don't want to be known. It is a resourceful center. Go. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody else. So these indicators are very important in the family. When you get a problem in the family, bring it on the table. We fix it together. Your children, your wife and your husband. Don't hide from your partner. Someone is influencing you for sex. Bring it out. Tell your partner. The one you call your friend is not a genuine friend. You don't want him here anymore. Bring it out. Don't meander around the bush. Don't hide. Don't package it. Now, when I do this, maybe they're going to fight. No, bring it out clearly. We are trying to bring the mitigation measures. The preventive measures. We have realized and evaluated that responding mechanisms of Australia police and Australia enforcement, they're costly. They're costing government is money. Preventive measures are cheaper, the cost effectiveness in this area. So in many situations, we are saying, how I wish we knew and decided this project some 5 years back. We would have saved a lot of money from the government budget. However, it's not too late. Now coming to your question. Can you rephrase the question, please, for me?
Yeah, I was saying, what are some of the measures that are in place to prevent both parties, like men and women?
All right. The government has introduced many programs, but to our judgment today, we are seeing they are favoring women. However, women are more vulnerable in the family setting. So that one is important to us, that women need to be more protected. Because if we are to fight in the house, she's more vulnerable. She brings a suggestion. They're always humble. Women are the managers of the family. But sometimes men ignore even the ideas they bring. Sometimes they bring very good ideas, good opinions, and the men just put it in the dustbin. So it's high time now we give a listening here. Listening is power. Some of us were now even changing our mindset, and we do more of listening than talking. It's important, a man listening to me today, to change, to give it a trial, and do more of listening to your wife than arguing with her. She can have a very good message, but because you don't have listening capacity, listening here, you miss the point. You don't listen to them, and you remain ignorant until the law gets you. Then you say, what were you telling me? When it's too late. 2, there are resources around. We've got like the existing structures, like a police, like we've got the advisory bureaus, we've got like a Salvation Army, we've got agents in the community who are yearning to prevent these incidents of domestic violence in our families. But as men, even if you are invited, let me say I'm a victim. When I go there, I want to show off. When I go to any case manager, your wife reported to you, maybe there's a tendency of this, can you please, we fix it at this level. We don't even to go to court. The first thing you will judge, whoever is talking to you, they are nothing. They don't understand. You even add on, they have been influenced by your wife. Some of your beautiful partners, they are reporting you not to separate, for you to change your behavior, for you to become a good man, for you to be a good partner. Because some women, they make statements at police daytime, and at night they blame police. They came for my money. It's you who went there. It's you who called this number. It's you who directly gave them the address. They came for him. When they reach somewhere in the middle of the investigations, you turn around and they blame the law enforcement officers. How am I going to take the child tomorrow at school? I have, to go to my work. Who is going to stay in the house with the children? Who is going to do this? So all this comes back at, but this is a weakness, a general weakness. We understand our weaknesses. I always insist that we all have some percentages. Let me say 40%. If you are looking for 100% values in a woman, you have to build another 60. You have to contribute, make sure that you put the favorable environment for her to get the 90 you are looking for. So if you are there to blame all the time, she won't get that environment to bring that relation, that percentage you are looking for.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I understand you very well. But the thing is, family, we should understand that these things will happen. They have been happening. But we should understand that Christ is our backbone. We are all Christians. We on this channel, everyone is a Christian. Even those that are not Christians, directly or indirectly, Christian values cut across a lot of thresholds, and I believe that we all agree to most of the things we are talking about here. We are discussing social issues against the religious values that we all believe and adhere to. So one thing I want to say is that if we try to keep Christ ahead, it will help us. In saying that, I'm not trying to say that our emotions don't play on us sometimes. Sometimes our personalities and our emotions play on us. Even though we are Christians, we are still humans. So we should understand that, if possible, let us make sure we surround ourselves with the right people. If our friends are the right people, then it is highly possible that when you are leaning towards the negative side of life, you can get someone to advise you positively. But if you are leaning towards the negative part of life, like heading towards domestic violence, leading to divorce and all that, and your friends are good type of friends, your circles are good circles, and your hope is in God, most likely you will be able to come out. And you will say, thanks, my friend. Thank you for being there for me, friend. Thank you for being there for me, brother. People, let us be very mindful and understand that whenever our emotions are taking the better part of us away, we should try and remember that there is a lawyer out front of the door. There is the police at the front of the door, and they don't understand sorry. They don't understand I don't know what came over me. They have no understanding. In quotes that I'm saying they don't understand. I think their ears, they are deaf. Excuse me to say, they are deaf to I'm sorry. They are deaf to, we will fix it. No, once they come and that thing has happened, they are not leaving it for you. It has to go to the police station. And I'm pleading that all of us should be careful and remember, if there are community leaders that have decided to support us, it doesn't matter wherever you live around the world, let us respect these community leaders and let us allow them to help us. Community leaders, we are also pleading with you. When our cases come to you, no matter how it comes, let it be important to you. And when they become important to you, we also plead, keep it private for us. Keep it private for us. Please keep our private issues private. Don't circulate our private issues for us. And friends, if you get to know the details of your friend's marriage, don't circulate it on social media. They don't want that. Allow them to do it if they want to.
It's an abuse.
Sometimes people don't want to do that. So don't fight their fights too much more than the way they would love to even fight it themselves. I think these things are not helping us. More so, what I want to say in conclusion for today is also that I know today I told some of the educators that, look, many people, many women, many men, you mentioned that already, Brother Morris, they don't want to report their partners when something like that goes wrong. Why? Because beyond the report, beyond the offense, they still love their partners. So sometimes they want to report so that somebody could speak to the partners for a change so that they keep their partners back. But as soon as they take that form and say, yes, he assaulted me, the police takes over and the marriage is over. So to me, it looks like the system or the government doesn't have any means for resolution to restore the families, but rather to quickly split you up. And so that becomes one of the fear factors and prevents people from reporting some of these issues. And it ends up moving from one stage to get to the worst point. So I am also pleading that people, if you are dealing with any of these things, I don't encourage divorce, no, but I encourage that you seek for proper internal mediation. You seek for proper, mediation at your level where both parties will listen. That is why it's also important to marry someone whom you have the same faith with. Because if I believe in the church we both attend, I will give respect to the pastor. If I believe I don't want to go to church and I live in a community, maybe I have respect for the community leaders. So there should be someone that you know that both of you have a certain level of respect or value for, or someone you both listen to so that they can help you, because you cannot be the know-it-all. You cannot be the wisest of all. Thank you so much, viewers, for today. And I will leave Brother Morris to conclude with whatever he has to say in conclusion. And then we will sign out for today and hope to see you again next Wednesday. But tomorrow is going to be another powerful section. Evangelist Sister Sarah is coming, and it's going to be spirit-filled, power-packed, Holy Ghost-filled. So get ready for tomorrow. But before that, let Brother Morris finish and sign out for today and meet us Wednesdays. Like I said, family time is always going to be on. We are going to be bringing great people, people that can educate us and train us in many aspects of family life, finances, property acquisition, anything. You can even send in some of your topics and we will get people that know what they are doing to come and bless you. Expect more to come. Yeah, Brother Morris?
Yes, I wanted to thank you for the tips you've given our people. I want to specifically point out to a few risky assessments when it comes to our people who are in practice. Even if you're a nurse, even if you're a social worker, a priest, you're a pastor somewhere, please listen carefully for these tips. You have talked about confidentiality. A client coming to you with trust. Sometimes we don't need to rush them.
Yeah.
Remember, they are carrying a luggage. Don't take that luggage by yourself. Give it to me, I take it. No. In the church, we always say, oh, sorry, I know what you are going through. Don't touch people. Some of us, we want to show sympathy. By so doing, you are abusing somebody. She has not given you consent to touch her body, and you are saying you're sorry touching her. That is very bad practice. 2, consenting or reaching an agreement with the client. Show her the journey, how you are going to go through this journey. If you are to go to bring somebody on board, let her know. I will make a referral somewhere. I'll bring another expert to be part of this meeting. Don't just grab people. Morris, you are in a session with somebody, and they say, oh, Jenny, come. This one has lost his husband. He left too. He said, you don't need to reveal people's secrets. That is another tip. 3, understand the body language of a client. If someone, this is a very important, because some people rush to churches because they have trust with the church and they find untrained personnel in the church. We are going to offer trainings. Actually, I'm going to be giving out capacity building trainings to communities, different communities. Yes, you are there, you are trusted as church leaders, but you don't have any clue of how to handle cases. My brother, you may commit a crime by handling something which is not the case which is not under your mandate. Just make a referral. I'm going to give you some resource for information here, some telephone numbers that we can always ring to get assistance. The easiest one is the police. You call a nearby police. They will give you numbers of effective responses towards someone's challenge. Don't show off. Don't pretend you know much. Always, your role could be referring if you are not able to handle. 3, if someone gives you his or her story and you are not sure how to protect her, because these clients need to be protected from more harm. Maybe the husband is fighting her and the husband will hear, she has now reported me to Morris. You are going to get another, what we call, you are going to become a secondary victim in this case. And they can even kill you before killing the wife, because someone may suspect you to have empowered his wife to this extent. So try to be more careful as a case worker, because we provide what we call care for caregivers package. We need to train you how to protect yourself before protecting even the client. You should be cleaning your hands from these incidents. Don't show any side. We want you not to be judgmental at all. Try to remain as instrumental as we are trained to tell you. 3, as our church members or the community leaders or in whatever capacity, when you get information to saturate to your communities and you find it not working, not compatible, not effective, don't keep quiet. Let people know, let the police know that these brochures are not working in my community. We rather use drama. Tell them what is working for your community. Don't keep quiet. That is what we've mentioned today, that yes, you wasted the money printing all these books, but no one will read it. Let me give an example of what I saw in prison. Church leaders could distribute Bibles, and they count and they give statistics. As a chaplain, I could go back and evaluate the impact of the Bible in prisons. And I only find that some people put up their hands to get papers to smoke at night. They smoke the word of God. And for someone who distributed, is having statistics. We have given 1,000 Bibles in these prisons. So what is the impact? Consult you are representing your community. Tell whoever, even the donors, even the program implementers, that this one is not working. For example, today we have resolved to use our local languages like Swahili, Arabic, where some communities have got English as a secondary language. Bring it out that my people do not understand English. When you tell them to write a CV, they may not be able. So let's go to another institution that can help us. Finally, as my brother asked me to conclude, I want to let my brothers, especially my fellow men, know that we are potential candidates of this. The law gives your wife, this one is equally important even to the wives. The law gives me 1 year to inform you that I want to separate from you. And you have no right to abuse me or to punish me. The Lord gives me 1 year living under the same roof to tell you, you are not my choice anymore. So imagine it comes to you tonight. You are beloved one, you are beautiful, the only one you chose to tell you and turn around and tell you this. How are you going to handle? So I want to train you how to handle situations when it happens. We pray that we cancel it in the name of Jesus, yes. But what if it happens? So we want to prepare you and be informed if an incident is visiting your family tonight. How ready are you? Some of us were ignorant about the law. Some of us were never been into situations of taking us to police. So now while your only child calls police, they put you handcuffs around you, they take you. That trauma, that victimization, that putting down, we call them PhD, putting you down, will leave scars forever. So how do we handle these situations? I think my dear brother, the moderator, will give us a chance next time. I want to take them through this, preparing people how we call in the church, I'm appreciating my archdiocese here in Sydney, the Catholic Church. We call it loving that risk. How do we love the risk? Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. Most welcome. Thank you so much, Brother Morris. I believe my viewers and everyone would want to say a very big thank you for such an informative session we've had today. Yes, there will be more times for you to share specifics into details. So today we've just thrown everything all over the place from the outcome. And I believe that next time or another day that you are ready, you can have more definite informative session just by yourself, where you're going to be coming with statistics and figures. Life in prison, what are some of the situations in prison, what are some of the things that have taken people to prison in these developed countries, and the life in prison. People's understanding is that prison in Australia is, or in the developed country, is nicer and more comfortable than being a tenant in another part of the world. So when you come and you share some of these, people will get to know the true situation in prison. God bless you so much, brother, and have a wonderful time. Yeah, viewers, we thank everyone for tonight. It's been another wonderful day, another wonderful session that we've all come together as a family. Brother Morris has done a lot for all of us today, and I want to say thank you as you've listened. Thank you as you've watched on all the other links that has been shared around the world. We are going to come your way again tomorrow, Thursday. Sydney time is 7 p.m. Australian time. Join us and your life will be blessed. It's going to be powerful time of word of God, powerful time of prayer, and we're going to be changing things. In as much as we've spoken about all these things as evidence and science, remember, we believe that sometimes some of the confusions that happen in the home has demonic influence, and that is where prayer will take those parts out. And carefulness and information like this will also support you to be holistic, and you see that the power of God can help you resolve some of these things, even so that you may not have to do with the law at all. Prayer, the word of God, wisdom, and information like this can prevent you, and you can always say good morning to the police officer in peace. God bless you all as we've come to the end of the program.
Thank you. Thank you.